Welcome to the Aligned Soul Entertainment Podcast, where you get to be human and quantum leap. I'm your host and transformational mentor, Christine Michelle. Let's talk manifestation, magic, and all things entertaining, because life was meant to be fun. So let's go have some. Hello. This podcast is brought to you by the Quantum Manifesting Academy. QMA is the 6-week group coaching program where you get to shift and become what you desire fast, because quantum leaps get to be #normal for you. This group program is amazing and it's facilitated by me. Check the link in the show notes to find out more. But it includes one-to-one access, it includes group videos, it includes a lot of hot seat coaching and more. Check the link in the show notes and let's get to the show. Hello. It is Christine Michelle and I am here to talk to you about 5 things spiritual people are supposed to, and if you can't see me, of course you can't, air quotes, supposed to do. This is a funny podcast. It is an offshoot of the one that I did with the 5 things spiritual people are not supposed to do. And that was so fun. Basically, the message here is that there isn't anything you're supposed to do other than tap into what your soul wants to do and what makes you feel good. So have a little fun with this. Either way, like if you're some of these things on the list, then and you love it, yay. But if you're doing some of these things on the list because you think you're supposed to and you'd rather do something else, it's okay, right? It's totally okay. All right. So let's get down to the list. Number 1. Spiritual people are supposed to rise above the ego, and they're not supposed to really like tap into their mind and the ego is a bad thing and blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, this is all about loving your total self, right? There's nothing wrong with your ego. Like your ego isn't bad, your body or your quote unquote flesh isn't bad. And it's all about like using your mind, body, and soul together to create this amazing life, co-create this amazing life that you desire. So yes, your brain, your ego is going to bring up stuff. It's going to bring up fear and things that are contrary to what you're walking towards, what you're stepping into, what you're allowing to unfold into your reality. But that is a blessing when it comes up, because then you get to, shift it, right? You get to look at it and say, no, you know what? That's not what I choose to believe right now. But thank you for bringing that up, because I know that this kept me safe, or this brought me to where I am right now. But now I'm going to the next level and I choose to believe this. I choose to know this is okay. I choose to move through this fear. So rising above the ego or killing the mind is not something that you have to do. All right. Number 2, you have to give more than you receive. Okay. Giving is amazing. Giving is amazing. And in fact, I wrote a book about the aligned receiver where we talk about how giving is something that I didn't talk about as much in the book because we have been taught so much to give. And that is amazing. Giving to people, give. You're listening to this podcast because you're at the vibration where you enjoy giving. That is just a highlight of your life. But it is important for you to receive as well. Giving and receiving go hand in hand, because without a receiver, there is no giver. Without a giver, there's no receiver. And so it's okay for you to receive gifts, receive money, receive help, receive support. Like all of those things are necessary for you to embody and become that next level version of you. And so don't buy into the fact that it's wrong or you should feel shameful or feel bad or guilty for receiving. Receive help, receive support, receive guidance, because all of that is required in order for you to up level and expand, right? In order to manifest something that you've never manifested in your life, you've got to expand your capacity to receive. And if you feel guilty because you're supposed to give more than you receive, then you will not open yourself up to receiving all that is ready for you. And so, like if you read the book, The Aligned Receiver, I talk about how the universe is your sugar daddy, giving you a ton. Give, 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 give. And all you keep saying is no, 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 no. No, thank you. I don't need help. I can do it on my own. I'm independent, blah, blah, blah. No, receive. Open up your capacity to receive. So, we talked about rising above the ego. And number 2, we talked about having to give more than you receive. Number 3, it's all about feeling like you have to sacrifice, right? As a spiritual person, you're supposed to sacrifice yourself. You're supposed to, dive on the knife. You're supposed to like just sacrifice and not enjoy your life. And that is not true. You get to have an amazing life. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for others. Everyone gets to rise up together. There's no like, if I do this, then I'm taking this away from this person. Or if I'm super successful, then this person can't be super successful. There's more than enough for everyone. You don't have to sacrifice your desires for someone else. You all get to live your best life. They get to live their best life, and you get to live your best lives together. All right. So you don't have to, not receive and feel guilty about receiving. You don't have to kill your ego, and you don't have to sacrifice your desires for someone else. You all get to have it. This is an abundant universe. You are one with abundance. There is no limit. It is unlimited. Okay? And so the next one is we're supposed to be vegan. Like we're not supposed to eat meat. And I know I'm a girl. I love my meat. I eat meat. I love dairy. Give me some cheese and some milk. And this is just really funny because there are a lot of spiritual people that really feel like they get into their highest and most beautiful vibration when they are not eating meat, when they are just vegan. And that is amazing. That is perfect for you. But I feel like I am more connected when I'm doing what feels good to my body. And me eating meat or eating cheese or doing whatever I'm doing, I try not to make anything be, oh, this is so spiritual. You have to do this in order to be spiritual. You have to not eat meat in order to be spiritual. Being vegan is way more spiritual because it's lighter and it's a higher vibration, whatever. I choose to believe that when I bless my food, I pray over it, it is bringing it to the vibration that I need it to be in order for it to work with my body. And you have to remember, if you believe it's one way, you're right. If you believe it's not one way, you're right, right? So if you don't believe it, you're right. If you believe it, you're right. And so it's all about your beliefs and what works with you. And so if being vegan like lifts your vibration, makes you feel amazing, go do it. But if for another spiritual person, them eating the best piece of steak that they ever had in their life, or some chicken or fish or whatever they're eating, animal products, whatever it is, if that is for them and it makes their body feel amazing and it makes them feel awesome, then go for it. I bring this up. It's so interesting. There was a a girl on Total Divas. She was pregnant and she had been vegan for a long time. She's vegetarian. She didn't eat any meat. And she just really, really felt so guilty because the doctor was telling her that the baby really needed for her to incorporate some meat and dairy in her diet because she was just not feeling, the baby wasn't growing. She wasn't where she wanted to be. And she felt so much guilt and so bad by doing it, but she knew she had to do it for her child or whatever, for what the doctor was telling her she needed to do. And my point is not whether or not she was right or wrong, but just the guilt that she put on herself, that guilt of eating the meat or shifting from what she had grown to believe was correct. The guilt was way worse than the piece of meat that she had to eat. It's all about you really just stepping into what works for you and allowing that to be okay for you, but also allowing other people to do what they feel is right for them and not saying that they're not spiritual or they're not enough because they aren't doing what you're doing the way you're doing it. It's all about everyone living their best life and you living yours and doing what feels right for your soul. There's no telling. Maybe I'll become vegan later in life. Maybe I will eat meat until I die. Who knows? But I'm going to do what feels right for my soul in each moment because it's all about the now moment anyway. And so that's one of the things you're not supposed to do. Eat vegan. Girl, if you want to eat a piece of meat and that's what you feel led to do, go do it. And just don't associate that guilt. Don't bring that guilt into your life because that is that vibration that's going to bring you down. All right. And the last thing spiritual people are supposed to do, they're supposed to be poor. Please, are you crazy? Spiritual people are not supposed to be poor. If anyone is supposed to have a huge amount of money and a huge amount of impact on the world, it is the spiritual people, right? It's the people that are believing in unconditional love and that are believing that they're so excited to be able to impact the world, show people what's possible. It's the people that are receiving a ton so that they can also give a ton. Right? That is what is expected, right? We didn't come to this earth to be poor. You not having something doesn't help someone else. In fact, you not having or choosing to be poor is selfish in a way because you're not able to help people. You're not able to give to those charities or those organizations that you feel really help and impact the world. By you remaining small and remaining in a place where you are struggling or don't have enough, you aren't able to make that big impact on the world. It's my belief that the bigger the impact, the more money I get, right? And then the more money I get, the bigger the impact I get to make, right? It's like a beautiful cycle. I get to receive more and then I impact more. I get to impact more and then I receive more. And it's all about me doing this podcast and all of this free content for you that I am loving doing. I'm doing that because I'm creating a big impact and I trust and know that guidance and God and the universe is taking care of me. And that means a bigger amount of financial abundance just flowing into my life because of all the giving that I'm doing with this free content and with the freebies that I have on my website that I get to give so that you get to live your best life. And then you can use this information to be an example for others so that they can do it, right? So that my impact multiplies and multiplies and multiplies and multiplies, right? And so it's not about you having to be poor. That's not what you have to do. You get to be abundant. You get to impact the world. You get to live your best life, and you get to be an example to others that they get to live their best lives as well. So that is it. So I will recap the things that we are doing or we're told that we're supposed to do that you really don't. You get to choose whether or not this is what you want to do. This is your life, your choice. Do you, boo? All right. So the first one is rise above the ego, kill the mind. No. Number 2, give more than you receive. How about we give equal? We receive and then we give and we give and then we receive. It's just a nice little cyclical ocean wave in, ocean wave out. That's how it gets to work. Okay. Number 3, sacrifice yourself. You don't have to sacrifice yourself. We all get to live our best lives. We all get to, live wonderfully, live abundantly. That is just the way it gets to work. Number 4, be vegan. You don't have to be vegan. You don't have to give up your meat in order to be spiritual. But if you feel led to, if your body is asking for you to chill out on the beef, go do it. If your body is asking you to eat more beautiful, wonderful vegetables, go eat it. If your body is asking you to have a piece of bacon, everything's better with bacon. Go have your piece of bacon. It is up to you. All right. And then number 5, be poor. That is not anything you have to do because you are abundance. You are one with God, the universe's infinite abundance. Abundance is who you are. You are meant to live abundantly. And so by you choosing to be poor, you are just choosing to not be able to make as big an impact on this world as you get to make. So it's all in your choice. And so, and I have been forgetting to put the journal prompts in these recordings, and they've always in the show notes. If I forget to add the journal prompt after what I've been talking about, go to the show notes. There will be journal prompts in there. But I didn't forget this time. So your journal prompt today is, what are you currently doing that you feel you are supposed to do? And that's in quotes. So anything in your life that you're just doing because you feel like this is supposed to be the way it's done, whether it's your business and you're not loving the way you're doing it. Let's say you're going live every day and it's exhausting you and you're like, this isn't fun. Well, what would be fun for you? Maybe it's a recorded video instead of live. Maybe it's a podcast instead of a live stream. Whatever feels better for you, because guess what? There's 7 million millionaires and they all did it 7 different ways. It is all about what makes you feel good and is aligned with your soul and just inspires you. So, what are you doing that you feel like you're supposed to do? And then your second question is, what would you rather do? Right? And then after you write that list and talk about what you'd rather do, then your last thing is to choose to go and do it. Okay? So that's your journal prompt. That's all for me today. Hugs and kisses. Do you, boo? Have an amazing, amazing day. And remember to be her now. And take your aligned soul action today. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Aligned Soul podcast. And if you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed recording it for you, please leave a 5-star review. It will help get this podcast out to even more people, and I get to have more fun with you. Also, come join the Aligned Soul Collective, which is my free Facebook group that is growing with a whole bunch of women that love to talk about entertainment, the manifesting, quantum shifting, and all of the things. And remember, never forget to just be her now and take aligned soul action. Bye.